RBB Morning Show, the coach, mentor, marketing, and social media strategist you need each and every morning. RBB, a live morning talk show that gives you the ability to get the coach you need, strategist you wish you could afford, social media manager and strategist, marketing strategist, project manager, certified OBM, VA, business startup strategist, profit strategist, web strategist, email funnel strategist, sales page strategist, PR strategist, time management, mindset, and overall business development strategist. We answer it all. With over 25 years of business experience, both in corporate and small business worlds, we really can answer it all.
So today we're talking about the interview process of hiring a contractor, hiring a freelancer, hiring an employee is a bit different. So this does not count if you're hiring an employee. Some of these questions will be the same, but this is not about hiring an employee. So I want to make that very, very clear. Because you will actually get in trouble interviewing somebody with some of these questions, just so you know, because when you're hiring an employee, they are illegal questions. Well, not illegal, but not appropriate questions. How's that?
Frowned upon questions. Probably shouldn't ask them questions.
Exactly. Good morning, Sandra. So when you're looking to hire a VA or a graphic designer or a web designer. We talked a little bit about this yesterday, but I want to make sure that it's very, very clear that you're looking to hire the correct person. So the first things you always want to ask are, what's your experience? You want to know, and you want to dive down and ask them, software. What software do you know how to use? And I would actually have a form for them to fill out to ask all of these questions and pre-screen them before you talk to them, because that will save you so much time and so much frustration. So what skills do you have? Make sure that you're listing out the skills that you are requiring. What software do you want somebody to use? And which is something you would not ask an employee, because you're asking for a position-based interview when you're hiring an employee. For a contractor, you're looking for a specific piece of something that you need done. So you need to know what software they know, their proficiency in the software, how long they've been using the software, how do they communicate with you, how do they organize everything you give them, what are their timelines, what are their rate, and then you want to ask for references. You don't want to ask just for recommendations. You want to ask for references.
People they've actually worked with.
That will speak to you one-on-one.
Because majority of the time, especially in online space, everybody gets all their buddies to go in and recommend them so that they can get the job. Hygiene.
I actually have a chat going with 5 people right now. It's my morning. And you need to make sure that you are asking those recommendations or those references specific questions. You want to know, did they deliver on time? How's their personality to work with? Are they proficient? Did they communicate well? You want to... No, it's not you, Sandra. It's my IT stuff. I'm trying to keep panic down for my client at this point. Because he's already lost 2 days worth of work last weekend when they moved their offices. So he's not happy that he's down. You're not blaming me, thank God, but IT world. But you need to make sure that the person you're hiring communicates well, is proficient in what you're asking them to do. So ask that ideal client, well, I'm going to have them be doing this, 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 and this on this specific software. Did they do that for you? And the answer doesn't always have to be, well, oh, they were great with ActiveCampaign. They knew exactly how to code HTML forms and all of that. They could say, well, they didn't do that for me, but when they started working with me, I was using something they'd never heard before, and they did a really good job learning how to use it. That tells you something about that person's personality. Software, once somebody knows email marketing software, let me tell you, you don't need them to know Active Campaign and Entreport and because they're
They
all
can get in there. They're all the same. You can get in there and figure them out. A quick Google search, if you know what you're doing.
The only one I will say that doesn't transfer well is if they are only proficient in MailChimp, don't ask them. They're not somebody you want to hire for one of the other ones because MailChimp works nothing like, other than the fact that it's email, doesn't work anything like anything else. So, but if anybody knows Active Campaign or Aweber or Entreport or Constant Contact or any of those, they can easily take those skills to another platform and learn how to use them very quickly. If they are good at the platform that they were using. So you need somebody who can learn on their feet because software changes so much. So this morning I log into Be Live today and it does something completely different than it did yesterday. And I know I complained yesterday that it did something that it did the day before. So
yeah, it even looks different now on my side.
Oh, it does?
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay then. So you need to make sure that the person that you're going to work with is going to be able to think their way out of a paper bag. Because 90% of what you do online, so I will tell you, I am not the greatest IT person in the world, but I am the greatest IT person in the world. Do you want to know why? I know how to use Google. And I can do pretty much any IT job, including engineering level IT jobs with Google skills.
Because we know the appropriate questions to ask the Google, as my mom would say. And then we know how to interpret them and then go implement them because we have other skills.
I've talked about this before. I was at a major IT conference. Somebody didn't show up to speak for a keynote. And they're like, can you do it? And I'm like, do you have their slides? And they're like, yep. I spent like 15 minutes before I went on stage reading stuff online to learn about the subject that I literally knew zero about and landing contracts for this guy that was supposed to talk. That's not all about my sales skills. That's about my research skills, people.
Research skills. So that's something that's actually a really important thing to ask. Ask this person, how are their research skills? Are they a self-starter? Are they willing to go out and figure something out on their own? Or the second they come up on something, like, oh, nope, I don't know how to do this. You need to show me how. Can't do it. Don't know how. And they want their hand to be held.
Sometimes for certain positions, having somebody that wants their hand held because you want something so specific, you don't want a general thing done is great. Other times it's really not. I mean,
majority of the time, hand holding is not good and it's very annoying.
And it loses you money because there's two people doing a job and not just one.
You're doing the job that you paid this other person to do. So what was the point?
So here's a tip for contractors / freelancers. If you are a perfectionist, please never ever apply to work for me.
Yeah, please
because
apply to work for me.
Perfectionism, it can be a very good thing. It can also be a crippling disability.
Yeah, like it's like perfectionism like she called it, it's a crippling disability, but then it's also massively irritating to the person you're doing the work for. I mean, massively, because a lot of times my experience with perfectionists is I'm the person that's paying you and they're arguing with me about something.
Or they can't do anything or complete any step without having it checked 20 times. I don't know. You're the person I hired to do it.
Yeah, you're the person I hired to do it. Or they want an extremely detailed checklist of everything that I want them to do and how to do it. And it's like, well, you're the expert. That's why I hired you. But then when I answer them, they debate me. Like, no, because that is going to ensure that you're not going to have a job next month.
Mm-hmm.
No. Don't do that. Don't be that person. Perfectionists are like, we want a job done and we want it done well. And we want it done with a level of excellence. Don't get me wrong, but there's a difference between a level of excellence and perfectionism. It's a complete difference.
Perfectionism is literally OCD on steroids, I've decided. I live with a perfectionist and it can be crippling for him. I actually live with two of them and one of them it is crippling for. So you have to be very, very careful when hiring somebody that's like that. And you want to ask those questions. People need to be able to research, because I know I can hand Sandra something to do, and it may be something Sandra doesn't know how to do, but Sandra will go look it up. At first, when she first started doing stuff for me, she would ask me a million questions. Now she has learned, I expect her to go try to at least basically figure it out on her own, and then just check with me for some verification. That's great.
That's fine. That's great. Actually, that's the preference.
So you're looking to work with somebody who has some of those skills. Without those skills, you're in trouble as a business owner. You will lose money. And you need to make sure, again, check those references. Those references are so important to get an idea of the person's personality you're going to work with, how they interact and react to things. Something I always ask when I'm going to work with somebody, is, and I've done this in the IT world for years. Okay, what is the biggest disaster they ever had while working with you? How did they react to it? What was their process getting out of whatever the disaster was? Because that's a true sign of how somebody is going to work with you. Did they communicate with you through the disaster? Did they accept responsibility if the disaster was their fault? I only give email. It's up to the reference to give out their phone number if they want to talk, or if they want to just answer questions via email. That is completely up to the reference that you use. And I know that we used one of our clients for a reference for a new prospective client this week, and she gave out her phone number because she was very, very happy to chat with the person. So it's really up to that reference. Now, I have written references. I have clients that will do a live reference for us. And then you always have reviews. And all of those things are needed. And I would not hire, especially in the online world, I would not hire a person until you go troll them online. You don't need to troll their personal account, because that is not your concern or your responsibility to get into. I get very upset and annoyed. I should say annoyed, when somebody will say, well, I signed a new contract with a potential client, and then they friended me on Facebook, and I started following them, and I don't agree with their political stance. What does that have to do with business?
It's not your business.
None of that is your business. Well, I don't agree with their religious stance.
Still not your business.
That is something that you should have discussed in the interview process, either from the contractor side or the employer side, even though you're not really an employer.
There's the contractor and the contractee. We'll do it that way.
From both sides of it, if being a Christian is a necessity for a position, you need to state that. And you can when you're working with a contractor or a freelancer. You can't do that as an employer. Not allowed.
Discrimination.
And I have worked with clients who wanted to see me face to face, and I'm sorry, you're not going to be good for our brand. And I ask why, and I have had people say, well, you don't understand my culture very well. Okay, that's a valid reason. I always, as a contractor or freelancer or whatever, want to know why, so that I can improve. If it's something that I've done that needs to be improved, I want to know. But I can't help it that I'm not Chinese or from Africa or whatever, or German. I do not have a German sense of humor. Sorry. Now, if you need somebody with an Italian temper, I can totally help you out with that. But that is an important thing, especially when it comes to writing content, to have that cultural understanding. And which is why it's kind of hard to hire somebody from like the Philippines or something like that to write your social media or to write blog posts or content for you, because there's a miscommunication of cultural understanding there. And I love watching somebody that's very obviously from the US and reading through their posts sometimes on social media. You can pick out, oh, they hired somebody from the Philippines. Oh, they hired somebody from India, because there are certain ways they speak and stuff. You can pick up that. But you can ask those questions. And make sure you do ask those questions if that is important to you. But once you're trolling them online, you shouldn't be touching their personal. That is none of your business. Their business pages, their Instagram pages. If they don't have a business Instagram page, yes, you can check their personal out. But make sure you're checking them out online. Are they consistent? Do they go off and talk bad about their clients online and name them? That's even worse. I've seen,
Yeah.
I had somebody who wanted to work for me and went looking, and I always go looking online, and found a conversation between her and probably her best friend ripping one of her clients apart on her business page and named the client as like,
see, I've never done I don't get that. Like, I have had former clients straight up rip me apart and attack me online for going our separate, for leaving after it was a long-term thing. I've never done that. Like, not once. I don't understand people that do that. It's unprofessional. It's not a good look, you guys. And potential clients are seeing that.
mm-hmm.
And it's like, wow.
So I am very careful in, I'll talk about, I have a client that's a hot mess, and I'll talk about Sandra. We pick on a lot because, well, she's always right here. And I honestly, if she wasn't listening, I probably wouldn't call her out quite so much.
We wouldn't call her out by name if she wasn't sitting here. So, but we will talk about this client or that client or this contractor or that. Like, even now, I'm sorry, you guys, my eyeball itches. But like, even when we were going through Website Gate, we did not mention that contractor by name. We did not call out their company. We did not call out their name. We did not call out, like, we did not do that. And we will not. Now, ask privately, we will tell you, but publicly, absolutely not.
That is not appropriate. It is unprofessional.
Very unprofessional.
So watch for those things when you're looking to hire somebody. We love you, Sandra.
Sandra's basically our babysitter, man. Go take a nap. Stop doing that. Have y'all lost your minds?
I haven't heard that recently.
I haven't either. Maybe we're doing okay.
Oh, I hadn't thought about that. So make sure that you have an actual interview process. And if you have questions of, hey, I'm looking to hire so-and-so, you can come to the RBB Morning Show page and ask a question. Ask us on the show, message us. We're happy to help you.
Well, if you're looking to hire somebody specifically, please message us privately. Please don't put us in the position to mention somebody by name on the show. Like, we're not going to do that.
No, but if you're looking to hire a graphic designer, if you're looking to hire a web designer and you want to know what question to ask,
that's fine. That's more than appropriate. Yes, please.
Please hop on and ask. We're happy to answer those questions. I've been doing this for 25 years. And unfortunately, I was very, very stupid when it came to our contractor gate of 2019 and didn't go through this process, which is why I'm going through this process with all of you to remind myself as well, because I know better. I've been doing this a long time.
And like we said, we're going to sit down and we're actually going to do a lessons. I would love, and Danielle, I'm sure would too, to actually sit down and do a lessons learned with you guys from Website Gate. That's a project management term where at the end of something, you sit down and you go over all the things that you learned from and how you're going to implement them going forward to improve the next round.
So in IT, whenever we got done with the project, we would do a postmortem of the project, whether it went well, whether it went bad, no matter what the results were, we would go through it step by step and review. How did it go for you guys?
It's documented, which Danielle and I will probably actually do. I think we'll do it together, not live because we want to be able to be candid, but we'll come back and go over them with you guys, because I can tell you at the top, it's going to be like success of the project usually goes at the top. This one's going to be in all caps, epic disaster.
Mm-hmm.
I will document that.
So you need to do that. And you should always do that at the end of every project that you work with somebody. You need to reevaluate when you are working with somebody. If you hired them for a specific project, you should definitely reevaluate. Do you want to work with them again? What went well about this? What didn't go well with about this? So before you hire them again, if you enjoyed working with them, but some things didn't go well, that you can go over those things with them before you hire them for something else. If you have somebody on just like a retainer fee and they're a month to month, I would, after 3 months, and it does take at least 90 days. No, it takes about 90 days to really get into a rhythm with somebody and really.
Yeah, 90 days is a dating period. So just as an OBM, then when you go through the training, they tell you to spend about 90 days with the client, and they call it the dating period. So you do a 90-day trial run, because that's how long it takes for you to get a feel of the client to get a feel for you, and for you to also get a feel for their business and the culture of their business. Because you also, as the contractor and as the business owner, need to be mindful of your culture, of your company culture, and how the environment is where you guys work. Are you a fly by the seat of your pants type person, and you constantly are creating a toxic work environment? You need to be aware of that. If you're cool with that, that's fine, but you need to find people that are okay with that and can work under those conditions. And then same with the contractor. So 90 days is the appropriate amount of time it takes. If you're like getting mad at somebody because they're not, but after a week, you haven't even given them the chance yet.
Yep. So you need to make sure that you are reviewing that. Always review it.
Come back to us. Her ADD's kicking in.
I am right here. I'm talking. Can you not hear me?
No, I was saying I saw your ADD kicking in a little bit.
Yeah, it is. I've got a million IT things going on in the corner. You need to make sure that you're reviewing your process with everybody. With Gina and I review our processes with each other, probably about once a month. Allison, we're about the time where we need to review what Allison's doing and go through that with her. What's been great, what's not been great.
How can we help you make it better? Where are you noticing some gaps? You know, like how
do we need to improve? Because we always ask somebody that we're working that with, we don't just expect them to improve. We want to know, how can we make this better for you?
We make your job easier? Because we know for a fact, bless Allison, like we are terrible to just punt, go here.
Sandra is so used to me now. I don't think I face her in the least bit anymore. I don't shock anybody around here anymore. Allison has also worked with me for almost
a year. Both Sandra and Allison. Yeah, because like October will make it a year that everybody has known me.
And I've been working with them all since June of last year.
Yeah, so you're already at a year. I'm approaching a year. So we've all been together a while.
Yeah.
And it's one big happy family, and we're not going anywhere.
No, we aren't. We're just ramping up around here. So
we're just getting started.
So make sure that you're building a relationship with those you're going to work with, because you're a small business. It's either a big old happy family or it's a big old dysfunctional family. You got to figure out how you're going to work together. And that needs to work into your interview process, is knowing how you're going to be able to integrate somebody into that. Again, if you have, at the end of this month, it's a year for Sandra. So make sure that you're paying attention to your interview processes, because there needs to be one. Don't just hire somebody because somebody said they were good.
Yeah, I've done that numerous times, and it bit me in the butt every time.
That's what we just did. So yeah, lesson for you, lesson for us, reaffirming what I already know to be true. Yeah, I'm a moron. We should know better.
We tried, and we're going to go over this in the lessons learned thing, but I'll give you guys a little sneak peek. We tried to fit in to the Facebook online girl wash your face, boss babe business world. Didn't work.
Well, there's a little bit that's not.
There's so much more to it. It's not entirely true. There is so much more that goes to it, but
Gina hates fitting into the Be Boss Girl world. So I'm just going to tell you that.
stand it. I'm not. I don't fit, and I'm fine with that. I'm not a fit for it. I'm not.
But that's also why Gina's a COO and I'm not. There's our differences right there. You all have an amazing day. Remember to rise, become, and be. And we've got some new things coming for you guys here on the show.
There's so much good stuff in the pipeline, you guys. Danielle and I did some really cool stuff yesterday, and where we can focus on making this show better. So like we're about to upgrade it a little bit, and we are pumped.
We're very excited. So I look forward to talking to all of you later. Have an amazing day. Remember to rise, become, and be, everybody. Have a great day.
RBB Morning Show, the coach, mentor, marketing, and social media strategist you need each and every morning.